Hello everyone, this is Mayank and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to discuss about one particular IT mid-cap company. There's a good opportunity in the company. We'll discuss the business, we'll discuss the current update on the company, we'll discuss the future potential of the company based on the updates from the management. So the company, if I tell you, it's Tanla Platforms. And why I'm saying current update, because in the past also we created one video, the entire detailed video where there is fundamental, there is technical, there is business analysis also. The price at what we discussed the particular company was around 800 rupees, and right now there's 82% gain on the stock. So the reason for discussion today is to understand the products of the company, since it's a product based company, and we'll see if the current scenario of the company and the future forecast what the company's management is talking about, whether that is what that suggests. Shall we book profit and leave? Shall we invest more, or shall we wait without investment? So we'll discuss the details and then we'll conclude what can be done. But before I jump into all the discussion, please don't consider this video as a recommendation. Don't consider Tanla as a recommendation. This is just my opinion and my research output. If you want to go invest in this stock, please take your decision based on your own research and use this video only for referential purpose. Now let's discuss. The first thing is that Wisely Network. So this is one of the two products was Tanla developed. So Tanla is not a service based company. This is a good product based company from India. So we'll discuss about Wisely Network first, then we'll jump into the other product. So Wisely Network is a CPaaS solution that helps enterprise to communicate with end users. What is CPaaS? Now, this entire company is a product based company, so there will be some technical terms in the entire video. We cannot go into detail of all the technical terms. I'll try to simplify wherever I can, but if you don't understand, I'll recommend you to use Google, so that Google will tell you what exactly this thing is, what they do. If still you don't understand something, then let me know in the comment section. Maybe if required, we'll talk about it at later point in some video. Now CPaaS. So CPaaS is communication platform as a service. The way we know SaaS, software as a service, similarly platform as a service. And this is a communication platform as a service. There are different kind of platforms. Wisely provides a platform which helps enterprise to communicate with end users. And they support all modes of communication. They support all modes of communication, means SMS also. If you want to communicate using SMS to your end user, Tanla supports that. If you want to communicate with end user using emails, Tanla will support. If you suppose you want to communicate using voice, calls, Tanla will support. If you use OTTs, when I say OTTs, this doesn't mean Netflix or Amazon Prime Video here. It means that the communication OTTs. So that means WhatsApp, Messenger. So that those are built over internet, and that's the reason they are called OTTs. So the Tanla supports communication using WhatsApp also. Tanla supports communication using Messenger also. How they do? They use cutting-edge technologies like blockchain, cryptography, AI, ML. So artificial intelligence, machine learning also they use. So what do they achieve using this? They achieve security. They reduce the latency. They reduce the turnaround time. Security, how do they do? So blockchain. Now blockchain is basically, blockchain is a chains of different small blocks. Write any data over a block. That blocks becomes tamper proof. So that gives the security of the data. So your data privacy is intact in a block. Now that block cannot be just accessed by anyone, cannot be tampered by anyone, and cannot be used by anyone. So your data is always safe in a block over a blockchain. Then comes your security of using cryptography. That means whenever your data is passed, or when any data is passed from the origin to the destination, it passed through Wisely network. And in the process, using the cryptography algorithms, encrypt the data which is secured over the network. Latency means whenever the data is transmitted from one origin destination, there is a time delay in that. So the delay they reduce. So suppose it takes 1 millisecond, they will make it to 0.5 milliseconds or 0.9 milliseconds. End of the day, they reduce the time spent between origin and destination. So that is latency. Turnaround time is the effective time of communication. Then high availability. What do you mean high availability? High availability means network is always up. Whenever somebody sends a message, that message is successfully received by the consumer. So this is called high availability. Suppose I as a business send a message to my customers and the customer doesn't receive it. So that is failure. In the case of Wisely network, they promote that this system is highly available. That means their uptime is 99.99% at the minimum. Now I'll explain you how Wisely fits into the entire network. So Wisely sits between the enterprises and the telcos. Now I'll give you an example. Suppose I want to buy a product from Big Basket and Big Basket uses Wisely. Whenever I buy something from Big Basket will send a message to me. Okay, dear Mayank, you have this much order which cost this much and has been successfully delivered to you. Now this message, the information passes through Wisely. So the enterprise, what you see here, the enterprise Big Basket, they send the message. That message goes through Wisely. In the middle, Wisely uses all these technologies using blockchain, cryptography, then AI, ML, and everything, and the message is encrypted. And that message passed to telcos, and from telco that message comes to me, so the end consumer. So this is how Wisely sits in the middle and does all the magic. So every magic happens is the Wisely on the platform, and after that it's given to the telco, and telco it goes to the end consumer. So this is how Wisely is used, and now this is not a product, this is a platform. So anybody, any company can use this as a platform, change their data and give it to telco, and telco is transmitted to the end user, and that's why this company is called platform as a service. Wisely supports all the telecom networks, so you are not bounded by the kind of telecom you can only send a message because you are using Wisely just a platform. Everything else is independent of Wisely. The networks are independent of Wisely. Provides a dashboard for detailed reports of various parameters. Now is a company, I want to know how many data, how many SMS I sent, how many of them successfully received, how many of them have been opened, okay, and then what is the cost of it. So all the information I want. So Wisely provides a dashboard to their user through which they display multiple various parameters, and they use AI ML to deduce the data. So all the data is stored on Wisely server. So they know everything. Now to get the enterprise all the information, that has to come in a dashboard where they can see everything in a graphical form. So Wisely uses AI and ML to deduce the information present in a beautiful, understandable manner on a dashboard. Now Wisely acts as a single source of truth and centralized information repository. As I told you, it sits directly in the middle of the telecom and the enterprise. So it's a single source of truth for the telecom. So whatever comes to the telco, which will be forwarded to the end user, that comes through Wisely. So Wisely is a source of truth. Also, since everything goes through Wisely, Wisely also becomes a centralized information repository. So every information is stored in Wisely. What happened to Wisely? So this is the update. So Wisely has done 3 exclusive partnerships right now. 2 were there. One partnership was there in the last quarter. They have margin increase from 19% to 9%. This is the update of quarter 3. So previous the margin on Wisely was 19%. Now the margin on Wisely has increased to 29%. The aim of the company is to increase the margin to 50% because most of the company, global company, we are in the communication platform as a service, their margin, not only communication platform as a service, but platform as a service, their margin is around 50%. So company slowly want to move into that direction where they can also reach the margin of 50%. Their key contributors in future revenues and margin increase. So the other product which I'm going to discuss, so that product also has a margin, but any as a service product, platform as a service or software as a service, their margin is very high over the period of time because you develop the product once and then you don't do much on the product. You only maintain server cost, you maintain updates on the product. When you customers keep on increasing and using the same product, so that's why the margin keeps on increasing. So it was 19%, become 29%, and slowly reach up to 50%. So margin keeps on increasing, and this margin will contribute to the overall margin of the company and will support the growth of other products margin also. So it will average out the margin. So the use of Wisely is very, like, the Wisely as a product is very critical for Tanla platform since it is a platform as a service. It is not an enterprise product. The other product what we're going to discuss now is a enterprise product. It's not a platform. So other product is TrueBlock. So TrueBlock basically is a blockchain enabled unsolicited communication stack. This is given to enterprises. So enterprises, if they want to use TrueBlock, they can give these many features. They can remove fraudulent communication. They can focus on data privacy, eliminate unregistered telemarketers, eliminate phishing, etc., and interoperability. So if you use TrueBlock, you can reduce this communication. The phishing attacks, what happens basically. The mails, some phishing mails, some messages what we get from in our phones from some people which says that okay, you send me your Aadhaar number or send me your account number and we'll create this much money into your account. So those kind of messages, those are all phishing attacks. So these will be eliminated using TrueBlock. So basically, if some companies use TrueBlock, so these things can be eliminated. All these phishing attacks, and then data privacy, data will be secured because they use blockchain as explained in the case of Wisely. The blockchain implementation also is done through block also, and data is privacy is maintained over here. So these are the things which TrueBlock does. And TrueBlock doesn't have, we don't have information about how this TrueBlock architecture works. It's an enterprise product. This can be deployed for each enterprise can use it individually, right? And the revenue model of Tanla platforms, if I tell you, they work on revenue sharing basis, because since telecom is involved in everywhere, so all the SMS, everything goes through telcos. So telcos are involved. So Tanla does a revenue sharing deals with these companies, the telecom based companies. Now business update. So before I move into business update of TrueBlock, I tell you this, that recently Wisely has tied up with signed a long future contract with Vodafone VIL. Okay, so with that, VIL is Vodafone India Limited. VIL is only in India and not the global Vodafone. So they signed a contract with VIL for very long term contract. Now in that contract they have not like given update on that. So this contract is already live on 1st March, and by May they will come with a case study. So this case study will help to give more update on what is the impact of Wisely on VIL, what is kind of information VIL wanted to achieve, and whether they achieved that or not. Based on that, we can understand more on how Wisely will be adopted for other clients also. Since I told it's a blockchain, so they did 88 billion transactions in a quarter. That's the highest ever for any company in the world based on blockchain. So they support 88 billion transactions in just a quarter. That means 9 months. That comes around 1 billion transactions every day. That's a very huge amount of transaction if you understand blockchain. 63% market share TrueBlock has in this particular domain. Their top 20 customers drive 70% of the revenue. So TrueBlock's top 20 customers, they have more than 100 customers, out of which top 20 customers drive 70% of the revenue. And companies trying that top 20 customers grow, they grow, but their dependency reduces on the 70% of the revenue. That means they want to sign up more and more customers and increase the revenue, but they don't want to hamper 20 customers, the top 20 customers. They will grow parallelly, but on the other side, this company want to increase the revenue from other sources also, so that they don't depend on these 20 customers, because right now it's a risk for a company when your 20 top customers derive majority of your revenue. That means 75% is a huge chunk of revenue. In terms of client, they deployed BSNL, Airtel, Vodafone India Limited as a review. So now future potential of Tanla. So we have seen how TrueBlock works, what it is, how Wisely works, what is it. Now what company thinks, how they take the company forward. And the company's management is very clear about what they want to do, how they want to take this company forward. And this is very good. If you can read the letter as a whole, the communication what company management gives is exceptionally good, and they're very clear and concise about what they want to achieve, and that's a very good plan actually. So this company aspire to remain debt free, so they don't want to go for any debt. Even they want to grow slow, even if they grow slow, it's fine for them, but they don't want to go in debt. They don't want to raise any funding in the name of growing faster. Focus on onboarding customers organically, as I told you in TrueBlock. So in case of Wisely, they have signed a long-term contract with VIL, but they have not made any information public. On the basis of that, they are not engaging with any new customers. They are waiting for that deployment to complete. They are waiting for a case study to come out. They will come up with the case study in May, and based on the case study, based on that information, they will approach new clients. So this is a correct way of onboarding customers organically, and this company is focusing on that. They are focused on case studies and platform revenue. As the case studies part I told you, platform revenue, they want to focus more on Wisely, because already developed platform, more and more starts using that particular Wisely, more and more revenue keeps on coming without adding anything to the cost. So the revenue is more and margins also improve in the case of platform. So they want to focus on the platform revenue. Then they are customer focused company. They have set up a customer success team, and the customer success team success and that customer success team doesn't have any revenue target. Their job is to keep the customer happy. Their job is to keep the customer satisfied and work for the customer, not for the company. So whenever your customer success team works for the customer, that's a good customer success team. If your customer success team work for the company, then it's not a true customer success team. Growth of digitization in India. This will support Tanla. Now Tanla platform works with majorly India. All the revenues comes from India, and since India is growing, the growth is happening. More and more people are getting into mobile. More and more people are using WhatsApp. More and more people are using Messenger. More and more people are communicating with business using WhatsApp rather than call. So digitization is coming big time in India. And with this, Tanla's usage will also grow, and Tanla as a company will grow. So this was a few points about Tanla. few points about their own product and the Wisely and TrueBlock potential. So my personal understanding of this is that Tanla is doing very good, and everything the management plans and everything they say that makes sense and looks like a good plan. So thank you so much for watching. Stay happy, stay safe.